Hi everyone, welcome to Three Cups Tarot, readings to uplift the collective. And I'm going to do a message for your week this week. And it's going to be a pick a card reading. So let me just draw the cards right now. This reading is timeless, but if you're interested in the energies around when I'm recording it or the events that were happening for you at this time, I'm recording this on April 6, 2025. So you can think back to what was happening for you then if you find that helpful for informing your message, but it's not necessary either. So we have our four piles here. The first is Shiba Inu, vigilant, considerate, brave. Reading 2 is Border Collie, dynamic, smart, determined. Reading 3 is the Beagle, inquisitive, merry, affectionate. And reading 4 is the Russell Terrier, animated, deliberate, plucky. So just take a moment. I'm going to let the feed run for a little bit with this music to help you kind of get in the zone and figure out which card, which imagery, or which I want to say facial expressions this time, and which words might be calling to you. You might have more than one reading, that's totally fine. And I will see you ahead in whatever readings you choose. Hi, reading one. So you are drawn to the Shiba Inu card, which says vigilant, considerate, and brave. And the first thing that I thought of was the movie, I forgot what the name is, but it's with Richard Gere, I think. And he's like an empty nester who picks up this, somehow adopts this Shiba Inu puppy, and it's based on a true story from Japan. And the story is about kind of like finding a true companionship when you least expected it, but when you most needed it. And I feel like that's the message coming in for you. There's some sort of deep soul bond, and I feel it more in a friendship area, but it could be with like a sibling, a child, a partner, of course. But there's some kind of like kinship, soul, like kindred spirit sort of feeling that's very important for you this week. I want to read you the description from the book. It says, "Fox-like friend full of joy and energy, show me passion and vibrancy. This ancient Japanese breed used to be for hunting, but this fox-like friend has made its way into our homes and hearts. While the origin of its name is a mystery, the reason why we love them is not. Call on this vigilant and considerate companion when braving new frontiers." So if you are like stepping into the unknown or stepping out of your comfort zone, your message is definitely to reach out to someone who kind of embodies this spirit around you to help kind of give you some pep, some confidence in taking the next step in this adventure that you're on. The next step that's happening for you this week when you find it, this reading. I also did some channeled messages, so take these if they resonate for you or not. So the first thing is Gemini, and that's coming in more as a confirmation if, say, you are a Gemini, but you can also take the Gemini energies, which are about communication, information. What else is Gemini about? Working together, like kind of working harmoniously with duality. It could also be about looking for a counterpart in whatever way. That kind of resonates with that first message that I got with the movie and the Shiba Inu. I have to look up the name. I really want to recommend you that movie. Oh, Hachi. Hachi, a dog's tail. What does Hachi mean again? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's a number 8. It can also refer to a bowl or receptacle. Oh, the word is also associated with the famous dog Hachiko for his loyalty. Yeah. I feel like I need to share with you the symbol because it's very symmetrical and actually reminds me of Gemini. Let me see if I can write this. So it looks like this. I'm probably not getting it exact, but it looks like symmetrical mirror parts to it. If you want to refer back. Yeah, so there's something about that energy or that meaning with Gemini of like a symmetrical bond, some kind of like soul connection to help walk you through life. That is coming up as important this week. And yeah, so if you feel like, oh, I need to be independent and do this on my own, you're actually being recommended to lean on the support of like especially one significant person around you who is meant to help walk you through this moment. The next thing is thunder, and that came in more as like a sign. So if you hear thunder when you're saying something or you hear something, it's meant to punctuate that message, draw your attention to it. and then, or as a confirmation of what you just said. So it's just kind of, this might come up for you in the week if it resonates for you. So like it might be that I've picked up different messages or different signs for different people watching. So if it doesn't really speak to you, then you can just leave it for the person it's intended for. I was writing in lowercase, and then I automatically wrote in uppercase when I wrote antiques, 19th century antiques. That was a visual I got, but then I realized it's also the name of many places in, if you translate and like the ancient or antique into different languages. Like Antigua means ancient. In the Philippines, there's a province called Antique, and it's spelled like this. So if that's important for you, that's coming in as both like an actual antique object from the 19th century that might be important, like as an inheritance or something in the house, something you run across, but also the name of a place. And then I next got gold shimmer, and that's meant to be as a sign to draw your attention to something. So if you see not just the color gold, but the shimmer of it, like the light catches it, that's a sign from your guides drawing your attention to something. And then the last I got is Basque, and that's a place, that's a region. And so, a lot of places coming up today. Also like Spanish type language connections coming in. But yeah, we'll see how those come up in the reading, but they could also stand alone as your helpful signs and messages for the week. So I wanted to do tarot cards, but this deck just keeps calling me over, so we're going to get one card from this deck first. Or maybe two. Okay, so you got the porcupine and anemone boundaries, number 38. And the vulture and asphodel upheaval, number 14. So you are walking through something difficult in your life. It's something you already know about. It's not a surprise that's coming this week. This is just a message. If you're already going through something difficult this week, you're kind of empowering yourself to deal with it in some way. That might be putting up boundaries, that might be leaving the situation, that might be confronting it, but more likely it's I get the sense of like cutting off the energetic ties from that situation. It could be an environment, like a workplace. It could be a person. I just feel more generally it's a situation. So however you're feeling, that's being defined. But this person, this one kindred spirit, is going to help you work through this. Let's get... Okay, I'm not yet being called to tarot cards. We're going to get another oracle card. The Winged One, Trust, number 26. And this is a hummingbird. So, yeah, when I pull this card, I feel like this is a message of, your guides have got this, even though you don't see all the moving parts. You're going to come out on the other side of this just fine. Just follow the steps, follow your intuition, follow your companion's advice one step at a time, and trust that this is all going to work out the way that it needs to. And in your benefit, everything's going to work out fine, even if you don't know what that end point looks like, what that fine point looks like. Your guides are asking you to trust that it is. Okay, now we're ready for tarot cards, and this is the deck. Okay, so we're using Terror of the Divine. What can our first group be guided by this week? Okay, so I just shuffled it and I cut it. And you're getting the Page of Swords reversed, Justice, and the Page of Wands. Interesting, you've got 2 pages. And I take this as advice. So yeah, this situation, it's funny that Justice is falling right in between boundaries and upheaval. And there is like a boundary here, and it's like there's very much this empowerment energy, like I mentioned before, that you have total success at the end of this. What is on this pendant? It looks like a horse. That's significant for anyone. I take that as justice is coming in fast. As soon as you step into your boundaries, you make that decision, that action on your part, it all falls into place very quickly. I take the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands as your advice. So Page of Swords in reverse can be kind of like lashing out, communicating from an unaware, unhealed, or wounded place. And so your advice is to be aware of any any way that is meaningful to you or that happens to you. If you know that maybe you get defensive in certain situations, that's not going to be as effective or helpful for you in this resolution, in this justice, as more of a Page of Wands energy. So Page of Wands in the upright is joyful. I feel that I need to say the word ambitious, though I don't really associate that all the time with this card. But yeah, joyful, creative, curious, like hungry for knowledge and exploring like untapped sources of knowledge. So I feel like more like approaching the situation with great joy for the future, optimism for what can be the outcome, rather than anger at harms that have happened in the past. It's very much more of a forward or future facing energy that your guides are asking you to embody, to step into, to bring about this resolution. I feel like your message is complete with that, but I do want to end with a self-care card for anyone who feels like they need this extra little, extra little piece of confidence. So I got this whole cluster of cards that are sticking out. The top one fell off, so I think it's meant to be, this one. And it says, "It is my birthright to express myself in ways that are fulfilling to me." Yeah, this is what I've been saying. Empowerment to communicate with the Gemini energy. That's what the Page of Swords reverse must be, that you you were conditioned to not express yourself or in some way, and you're breaking free of that. And just remember this message: it is your birthright to express yourself in ways that are fulfilling to you. And this is really the bigger picture of what you're accomplishing this week. It might manifest in a particular situation with a particular person where you draw your boundaries or disconnect from what they're doing, or just make them aware of how you're being affected. But it translates into your whole life going forward. So again, focusing on the Page of Wands and the optimism, the positivity, the bigger picture of what's to come from this action, you can really meet this moment in a very successful, fulfilling, and almost joyous way. Yeah, there's a great momentum to this moment that carries forward into the future and whatever you encounter next. And so that's your message for this week. I'm wishing you the best week with it. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. If you're drawn to another card in that pick a card section, I'll see you there. And if not, I hope to see you again soon. Hi, reading 2. So you were drawn to this very cute little border collie with a blue bow tie, all dressed up, and it says dynamic, smart, determined. I want to start by reading the description from the book. So border collie. Dedicated doggo, dashing through the world, share your diligent ways. Border collies are among the canine kingdom's most agile, balanced, and durable citizens. They're known for their intense gaze called the herding eye and are the workaholics of the dog world, calling this dynamic dog breed for smart decision making and determination. And so beyond those qualities, I also associate border collies with like protectiveness. So like that herding comes from a place of protection. In my perception, I just always associate that with protecting, in particular, a group. So you might be called into some sort of like group leader or almost like a matriarch, patriarch type of leadership energy this week. And definitely your message is that you've got this and you are that right person to be doing this, even if you feel like you might be getting overwhelmed. So I jotted down some channeled messages. So if these kind of sound significant to you, take them as you will. But if not, then just leave them as well, because I think that there might be multiple signs for multiple people here. So the first thing I got was heavenly blue. By the way, this energy was so peaceful, tapping in, very calm. So you've got the color. I don't know if this is a color, but just came in as like heavenly blue. So I think just feeling a very like peaceful spring like pastel blue as an energy frequency for you this week. And you might want to kind of get something blue or like a blanket or a sweater and just surround yourself with this color. I feel like it's going to be very healing, but also like it's going to like resonate with you, like encapsulate you in some way. I also got this idea of little comforts. Look to the little comforts in the week. I feel like there's going to be some very sweet little like moments in your everyday life. Just very simple things like appreciating maybe how your pet looks when they're sleeping, or just a little kindness, or there's just like these little things that make your heart smile throughout the week, and your guides are asking you to like watch out for those, because they really amount to something, and those are significant things too, even though we're always looking out for like the big news, the big event to watch out for. They want to draw your attention to those little comforts of the week, which are so special. And then I got the image of white crested water, which you can think of as like the cresting of an ocean wave, but I didn't feel like it was limited to ocean wave. So that's very strange for me, but if it's significant to you, it's like the white cresting part of the water is a sign or a message for you. I also got sparrow, which I kind of like associated with like a melancholy sort of feeling. So I kind of feel like that is attached to some sort of grief. So if you're looking for a sign from a passed on loved one, or there's some kind of grief in the situation you're in, a sparrow would be a sign for you being sent that just kind of letting you know you're not alone. And then the last phrase that came in was feast. And I know this is around Easter time I'm recording this, so if you're celebrating Easter, then there's something kind of, I feel joyful, because the next word that was associated also was fiesta. So along with like that little comforts heavenly blue, there's such kind of like a peaceful energy, almost like that holiday spirit around you. And yeah, if this is a family gathering that's happening, you are kind of, like I said, being looked to as that matriarch, patriarch, that ringleader, to make this beautiful celebration happen, make beautiful memories with the people you love. I really love how your week is going. But of course, if this doesn't resonate with you, you might have your message in another pile. So just always watch out for that. I feel like I want to get this oracle card next. Okay, here it is. Romance. Is this a partner romance? So you might, this might be significant if you're in a new relationship and there's like, you're having them meet your family or vice versa on the holidays. This is also a very sweet moment if you're kind of anxious about it. Again, like, just enjoy the little comfort, the little things, because it's actually you're like producing a beautiful memory this week, a memory that you're going to look back fondly on, some kind of family type of way, and or with your romantic connection. I feel like there's just going to be this moment where something clicks, and it's just like one of the major final pieces, falls into place, and like that commitment really feels a little bit more real. That's so sweet. I feel like I want to get from here too. Okay, this one. The courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. I really take this as a message of vulnerability. If you've been hiding an aspect of yourself away or afraid to share it, judging yourself for it, reveal this to your partner, reveal this in front of your family. It's going to be greeted and embraced and loved. And that's what makes this so emotionally significant, this moment for you. Okay, I'm going to fill out one more oracle card and then get some tarot. Ooh, seer, prophecy. Number 5. Wow. I think that you or someone in your life has like foretold of this moment, like seen this. It's kind of like, imagine that moment I'm talking about where oh, that's so interesting. Let yourself be seen. And then you are a seer too. There's this like dynamic going on there. Wow. Yeah, it's almost like a full circle moment where you've always kind of imagined a moment like this would happen, and here it is in front of you actually manifesting. You're just going to like have a moment where you like have your hands on your heart like this, and you're just feeling all of it, and it's just so beautiful for you. I love that. Okay, I keep reaching for this deck, so we're gonna go ahead with Mystic Mondays. What can our reading to be guided on or guided by this week as they go into this social gathering and reveal themselves. And even like learn to appreciate and love themselves as well. Princess of Swords in reverse. Whoa, that's crazy. This exact card, but from a different deck, came out in this exact position in reading 1. So if you're drawn to it, you might have a message there too. 8 of Wands in reverse and 10 of Swords. Wow, you were really holding on to something and you're letting it go for a long time. I take this as like a childhood conditioning or wounding. Like I was saying before, if you were hiding something, you learned to hide something about yourself, it could be your clairvoyance, intuitive abilities that you were hiding. Letting yourself be seen with that courageous peony really releases the pain of that. With 8 of Wands in reverse, I feel like that like being stuck in the mud, like you know, the burden of having to hold yourself back, hold back that part of you, was really kind of becoming unsustainable, unbearable. Yeah. And it's like, it's time for it to go. If you're not sure if this is your moment or not, I don't think you have to think about it too much. I think it's just going to happen. It's just going to like come out of you organically in the right moment. The right moment's going to present itself. And yeah, just enjoy every bit of it, because I feel like you've been waiting for this for a while. It's going to feel significant, even though you got that message about looking at the little things. I think the little things are what's going to amount to what makes this feel so significant. Okay, I'm going to close off with a therapist's reading to support you this week. A bad day doesn't mean a bad life. Tomorrow will be different. It's such a cute little cat. So cats will be assigned to you, I feel like. I was going to say I feel like Queen of Wands energy. I also feel like Sagittarian energy here, if that's a confirmation for you. But yeah. So the message here, I'll just leave it as it is. A bad day doesn't mean a bad life. Tomorrow will be different. And I'm wishing you the best week with that. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. If you're drawn to another reading in the pick a card section, I will see you there. And if not, I hope to see you next time. Hi, reading 3. So you were drawn to this beagle with its little blue bow tie. And it says inquisitive, merry, affectionate. And there's just like a calm, peaceful energy. I feel like this dog is like noticing the little details all around him and just kind of soaking in the moment, stopping to smell the roses. And I want to read the description first. It says, curious canine, brimming with glee, fetch me a feeling of wonder and levity. Playtime is never over when it comes to the beagle. These inquisitive creatures know how to have a good time. Beagles are loving and lovable, with a merry and affectionate spirit that knows no limit. Call on the beagle to renew hope and find the excitement and joy in life. I really felt like this loving and lovable stood out to me, and that describes you. You are both loving and lovable, and your guides are asking you to remember that and embrace that energy for this week. I want to actually remember to pull a self-love card because of that, but first I'm going to share some channeled messages I dotted down. So if these speak to you, resonate with you in any way, please take them however you need, but if they don't worry about it. I think these are not meant for everyone, or they're meant for several different people too. So the first one I got was daisies, like the flowers. Like I associate that with like innocence, childhood, like being delicate, but also like pure. And then also the name Daisy could be significant in the week as it comes up. The word Sunday, so the day Sunday, whenever you're finding this, is a significant day for you this week. Maybe you already have something planned, or you're worried about something on Sunday, and I feel like you're being reassured that, like, yeah, it feels big, but it'll all be fine. Astrology came up more as a suggestion, like a arrow pointing you to maybe look up the astrology for the day or the week you have in mind, surrounding maybe an event. Look up the like astrology and how maybe like your sign is impacted by the astrology. I feel like it's more of a positive thing though. Like you'll be pleasantly surprised that things are kind of, you're very lucky, things are going your way. So maybe like Jupiter is the planet of luck, is going to be shining on you at that time. I also got the word miracle, so I feel like something is just gonna feel like a miracle for you this week. And you might have a moment where you say like, this is a miracle, or it just feels miraculous. And or you might hear like the phrase like miracle worker come up. And then last I got the word attuned, and I feel like that's about you really tuning into your surroundings or the people around you, and being very insightful and really like on point with your intuition. So trust yourself with that. You're very accurate and attuned to whatever energetic shifts are happening all around you. Even if it feels unfamiliar or chaotic, you do have a good sense of what's going on. So just trust yourself with that. Okay, so let me get that self-love card that I was talking about first. Seemed to be important. I allow myself to accept prosperity. Wow. That's funny. It's making me think of the miracle that came up. Like, you might feel like something's like too good to be true, and it might stir up something within you that you feel like you don't deserve it, or you have a hard time accepting it. So I really feel like that's a reassurance to you from your guides that you do deserve this, and you just need to learn within yourself how to accept it. Universal love is true love, so love all. Love is really coming up. Yeah, that's why I wanted to pull this self-love card, is because you are lovable and loving. You're loving and lovable. Just remember that this week. This is number 42. Universal love is true love, so love all. This is what I felt about the attuned from the last message, that like you are attuned to the interconnectivity of like everything around you, and if that overwhelms you or you're confused of what to do with that, your guides are just saying, just like start with love. Tap into the loving, the way you can connect into all those energies in a loving way. That's all you really need to do. This is such an interesting message. I feel like I don't really know where it's going. It's almost so like ethereal, but let's just keep going with it. Let's see what tarot cards are good. I kind of feel like this outdoor. So what can our reading 3 be guided by this week as they tap into these energies around them and kind of feel the miracle of what's going on energetically? Ooh, this card just fell out. 3 of Blades. So some kind of pain or heartache or grief is removing itself from your life this week. 8 of Stones. Ooh, I love this. 8 of Pentacles. That is so beautiful. It looks like my dream garden. It reminds me of like these community gardens where I grew up in San Francisco. looks so much like this. And just kind of that communal spirit is coming in. Oh, there's daisies, right? The daisies are here. Feels like a community center. I feel like that's really important for you this week. 10 of Stones, 10 of Pentacles. What were we saying about the prosperity? Yeah, there's something, I feel like maybe you're building something in a community and it's taking off, or it's being saved. Whatever happens financially, materially, it feels like a miracle. And if you were about to give up on it, give up on yourself in this like project, like everything's gonna turn around in a beautiful way. And there's longevity here. This is not just like a one-time save. This is really the start of your longevity, whether this is a personal kind of financial thing you're working through, or I really feel overwhelmingly like there's some sort of community spirit, community support coming in. Like you could be like trying to finance a community center or a school. You've really done it, and you were meant to do this kind of work. So yeah, there's a lot of reassurance here. Oh, it's so sweet. When do daisies blossom? I feel like spring for sure, right? But maybe even summer. I feel like those months from like the spring to summer months are really like key times. And just like enjoy it, celebrate it. It's meant to be, and you don't have to like have a fearful eye to the future on this. I feel like it was always going to be this way. Peaceful warrior. Ooh. Oh, number 49, potency. But I said oh because when I first pulled Beagle, I read it as eagle internally, and I was like, oh yeah, they're dogs, it's Beagle. But you do have an eagle here, and I take that as ancestral guidance in particular, and you are this peaceful warrior spirit. You may be like a teacher, you're some sort of like community defender in some way. And this is you reaching that summit and realizing like you've done this and it was meant to be. You followed your guidance and it's all going to be okay. Oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like that's just where I need to end off your reading. So wishing you an amazing week with that. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. And if you were drawn to another reading in the pick a card section, I will see you there. And if not, I hope to see you. Come back again soon. Hi, reading 4. So you are drawn to the Russell Terrier card, and it says animated, deliberate, and plucky. And let me read you the description. Blissfully bouncy ball of fur, help me reach my highest potential. The plucky Russell Terrier is well known for its agility and ability to jump. Russell Terriers have the animated and deliberate energy needed to reach new heights. When you need to reach your full potential, ask for the spirit of the Russell Terrier. That's so interesting because I was jotting down some channeled messages before I started the reading, and the last one I struggled with because I thought it was appetite, like hunger appetite, but then I realized it was there's a stone called apatite, blue apatite in specific, I think, is what came up when I looked it up afterwards. And that one, blue apatite, is associated with manifestation attuned to the future, activating psychic abilities and allowing expansion of knowledge. So manifestation kind of resonates with that description about using the Russell Terrier energy to jump to new heights. So there's something that you've been trying to manifest, and so your message for this week is really around that manifestation and like helping you kind of like collect or summon the energies toward it. I feel like if you're in the market for a crystal, blue apatite is the one that you could go for next in service of that. So the first images I got were of a trip to Sicily I took, but I also felt like the message was for Italy as well. So if that's significant to you, maybe you're manifesting a trip there. I also felt the sense of like heritage and roots with that. So for these channeled messages, take them as you will. They're not meant for everyone, but if there's something in there that's really speaking to you, take that however you need to. They're just kind of like flashes that come in, and I don't have a full story with them, but you'll know what to do with them if they're for you. The next word that came in was splash, and I realized there's a movie from like the 80s or 90s called Splash. I think it was about a mermaid. So there might be something significant there for you. The word generation came in. So something about identifying through generations, particularly like down the line. So, anything if you kind of attach to like intergenerational kind of legacies or traumas, there's a significance in this reading or this week for that too. But it could also just be more generally like thinking through your family ancestry line or the significance of your generation. If you're millennial, Gen Z, whatever names we're giving generations, that's going to be kind of orienting your message for your week this week. I also got a pine forest, like the scent of a pine forest in particular. And so that might speak to location as much as a significant scent to you. And then, sorry for my writing here, but that actually says rainbow. So I feel like a rainbow is clearly like will be a sign to you if you see one, and that means something for you. And then, yeah, apatite stone. So let's see if those come up in the readings or if they need to at all. I feel like I want to already get into your tarot cards and go full dogs. So we're using the Wise Dog Tarot. Oh, that's a mess. What can our reading floors be guided by this week as they go through manifesting their aspirations? Okay, so you're getting Ace of Cups, sweet. The Eight of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. Wow. Are you trying to manifest a partner, a love partner? This is coming in hot. This is like coming in fast. Amazing. Wow. Maybe your partner has like Sicilian or Italian heritage. But I mean, Ace of Cups, you can't deny kind of the symmetry here. Like Ace of Cups is new love, new connection. Knight of Cups is often associated with romance, like some sort of romantic gesture or action on the part of another person coming toward you. And then the Eight of Wands means things are happening fast. So yeah, if you're looking for love, I feel like this is really good news. If you're looking for, if you haven't met the person that you're trying to manifest, I really get the sense that this is possibly someone you have not met yet. And suddenly you might match on an app or run into each other through friends, something like that. Time and protection. That's interesting that time came up and you have like the speed card too. I feel like this is the right timing, but also give it time. I also get the phrase protected time. I feel like, I don't know if that's like a scheduling or a planning phrase. But that's coming in like this time is protected for this to happen, and even if it feels fast. You don't have to be overwhelmed by that. Everything will happen in the time that it needs to. Yeah. I feel ready to pull some oracle cards again for that. Past life medicine remembering. Wow. So this is most likely a connection from a past life that you're reuniting with. And on some kind of soul level, you're going to feel that. I'm looking at the Russell Terrier again. Maybe there might be the name Russell somewhere in there with this person. But also they might just embody these qualities. Animated, deliberate, plucky, kind of like a happy-go-lucky, spirited person that you're encountering. Let's see. Wow, I just felt like this might come up. So I felt that, so this says shark number 35, swim away from the situation. So you might feel this tension of, if you had like a difficult relationship in the past, this new person might be setting off some like alarms in you. I want to pull some clarity on the nature of this connection. Is it setting off, triggering some like remembrances for you, or is there really something that you need to do about this? Moods. I feel like the message here is monitor your emotional responses and reactions to things that the new person does. Things that were insincere, disingenuine from your ex partner. They may look, whatever the new partner, the new potential match is doing may remind you of that. But your message here is to like kind of become more aware of your emotions, your triggers, and kind of understanding where they come from so that you can better discern whether this is a red flag for you or if it's solely something that's reminding you of the past. And there's definitely help out there for that if needed. And oh my gosh, there's the rainbow. Yeah. Which came up in the channeled messages. So definitely like tune into your own guidance along the way, because I feel like this is going to take time. And again, you are protected in this situation, so you don't have to feel helpless. But you are meant to work through this in your own time with this partner. And I know that a lot of times, like partners, when we encounter them, can surface like shadows, unhealed wounds. And it's not always a bad thing. It can be so that in service of healing those things. So that could be the case here too. But it's definitely about you empowering yourself to work through this on your own. It makes me want to pull two more cards. Okay, another from this You Are Believe in Your Own Magic deck. Spaceship, Don't Be Afraid to Sing, number 43. This makes me think of the Three of Cups. Like this channel, Three of Cups Tarot, which is about, I take it as leaning into your support, your peer support, and uplifting each other. Don't be afraid to express yourself to this person, but also to your support group, support network, and get their take. Let them walk you through things step by step, and no need to rush it. You have time on this. It's meant to take time, and it'll be worth the time to work through all of this too. Almost looks like you're there too. Yeah, definitely lean into your support, your peer group or your friends or your family, whoever that is. You are strong enough. So cute, so simple. I'm just gonna leave that message to speak for itself. You are strong enough for this week, for this connection and everything it brings. And I'm wishing you the best week with that. And thank you for any likes, shares, and subscribes and comments. Thank you always for watching. And if you're drawn to another reading in the pick a card section, I'll see you there. And if not, I hope to see you next time.